Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive.
It's great to be back.
Today, we're exploring a collection of stories that highlight kindness.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So, we found this project called Heartbeat Celebrating Human Connection, shared on X, and each story showcases these little pulses of compassion from around the world.
I love that. Little pulses of compassion.
I know, it's such a cool way to put it, like a heartbeat for humanity.
Yeah,
So, are you ready to dive in?
absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so our first story takes us to Nairobi, where we meet Amina, a bus driver, who noticed one of her young passengers, Nia, just completely engrossed in this, like, worn-out book. I know. And this simple observation sparked an idea. She turned her bus into a mobile library.
What? That's incredible. A bus? A mobile library?
I know. So cool.
It's amazing. What a great idea.
I know. Talk about turning a simple idea into action.
Exactly. And making such a difference for these kids. I mean, access to books can be so limited for some communities.
And it's not just about the books themselves, right?
Right.
It's about creating a space where reading becomes a shared experience, like for everyone on board.
Exactly. And it
Right.
fosters a love of learning, you know.
It's like a little community on wheels.
Totally.
Okay, so our next story takes us to Italy, to a small village that was actually facing depopulation.
Oh, wow.
But then they made this really incredible decision to welcome Ukrainian refugees.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, truly welcome them, not just offer them a place to stay, but, like, really embrace them as part of the community.
So they provided housing?
Yeah, they provided housing, language classes, job opportunities. They even created cultural exchange programs to blend the traditions.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. What a powerful example of unity.
That's truly remarkable, turning a challenge like depopulation into this opportunity for connection and growth.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love that.
Okay, ready for story number 3?
Yes, hit me.
All right. So this one highlights what happens when personal goals meet, like a desire to give back. We're going to Mumbai, where a group of runners decided to dedicate their entire marathon to raising funds for girls' education.
Oh, wow. That's powerful. Each stride a step toward change.
I know, they were literally running for a cause.
I love that.
And, get this, they ended up raising enough money to fund over 100 girls' education for a year.
Seriously. That's incredible, the impact
Yeah.
of that.
Amazing.
Just imagine the ripple effect on those girls' lives and their community.
For generations.
Uh,
Okay, for our next story, we're going from a bustling marathon to the quiet streets of Tokyo. We meet Haruto, who's a busy office worker. He formed this really unexpected friendship with his elderly neighbor, Mrs. Takahashi.
oh.
Yeah. In a city like Tokyo, which is, known for being really fast-paced,
Yes.
it's easy to get caught up in your own world. But Haruto chose to, like, slow down.
Yeah.
And notice Mrs. Takahashi's loneliness. He started visiting her, sharing stories, offering help,
Oh, that's so sweet.
and it blossomed into this beautiful intergenerational friendship.
What a wonderful story. It's a reminder that even in a world that's constantly pushing us to go, 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 those simple acts of presence can make a world of difference.
Exactly. Okay, ready for story number 5?
I am. Let's hear it.
This one comes from a small town in Canada where an anonymous resident set up something they called the grocery cart of compassion.
The grocery cart of compassion. Interesting.
Yeah, basically they filled this shopping cart with essential goods and then put a sign on it that said, "Take what you need, leave what you can."
Wow. That's a powerful statement of trust in humanity.
Right.
Just believing that people will do the right thing.
And it worked. People started contributing, making sure the cart stayed stocked. This one act of generosity just ignited this chain reaction.
I love that. The ripple effect of kindness.
Yeah. Okay, now for something a little different. Let's explore how art can be a vehicle for compassion.
Okay.
We're headed to the streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil, where we meet João, a street artist. Now, he didn't just create, random murals. He painted portraits of the homeless individuals living in this neglected alleyway.
Oh, wow. Giving them a face and a story.
Yeah, he included their names and their stories.
Humanizing them.
It's like he gave them a voice through his art.
Yeah, he did. That's so powerful. Using art to advocate for those who are often overlooked.
It's a reminder that everyone has a story worth telling.
Absolutely.
Okay, our next story takes us to rural Australia, where a devastating flood hit a small community.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But amidst the devastation, we meet Tom, a local farmer, who, without any hesitation, used his tractor to rescue stranded families and neighbors.
Wow, a true hero.
Right. He didn't wait for any official help to arrive. He just saw a need and jumped into action.
It's amazing how, in times of crisis, the human spirit can shine so brightly.
It's like he just embodied the spirit of community resilience. Okay, are you ready for a story that'll warm your heart?
I'm always ready for that. Tell me more.
All right. This one takes us to the suburbs of Paris, where a group of high school students created an initiative called Le Langage de l'Amour, which means the language of love.
Oh.
These students saw that language was a barrier for immigrant children trying to integrate into their new community. So they created this fun, welcoming environment for learning French.
What a wonderful idea.
I know.
Language is a bridge. It's a beautiful example of empathy in action.
Exactly.
Young people creating positive change.
Okay, our second to last story for this set is from the heart of Chicago during a bitter winter. We meet the Blanket Brigade.
The Blanket Brigade.
Yeah. These volunteers brave the freezing cold to provide warmth and comfort to those experiencing homelessness. And I mean, they don't just hand out blankets and supplies.
Yeah.
They take the time to connect with people, offering a listening ear and a genuine moment of human interaction.
That's so important. It's about recognizing their humanity, seeing the individual, not just their circumstance.
Exactly. Okay, ready for our final story?
Yes, bring it on.
All right. This one takes us to Singapore, where a young app developer created Silver Screen to tackle the issue of loneliness among seniors.
Oh, using technology to combat isolation.
Exactly. This app connects seniors with volunteers for virtual companionship.
Wow, that's brilliant. So they can share stories, play games, or even take virtual tours together.
Exactly.
It's a great example of how innovation can be driven by compassion, human connection, no matter the distance.
I love that. And that wraps up our first set of stories.
Wow. What a powerful collection of stories.
I know, right? It's like a kaleidoscope of kindness from all corners of the globe.
And each one a reminder that even small acts can have a ripple effect.
Exactly.
It really is amazing to see how many different ways people are showing kindness around the world.
Right. Like each story is so unique.
Yeah, and it shows that there's no one right way to be kind.
Exactly. It's about like responding to the needs around us in whatever way we can.
Like Amina in Nairobi, turning her bus into a mobile library.
Yeah, that was so creative.
It really was.
She just saw a need and went for it.
And think about the impact.
I know, it's huge. So many kids now have access to books who didn't before.
And they're not just reading alone.
Right, it's become a community thing.
Exactly. And then there's that Italian village that welcomed the Ukrainian refugees.
Oh, yeah, that story was so inspiring.
It really showed the power of community.
And it challenged that idea that we have to be afraid of people who are different from us.
Exactly. They showed that welcoming others can actually make us stronger.
And speaking of strength, those runners in Mumbai who dedicated their marathon to girls' education.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They were amazing.
They really showed how we can turn our passions into something that helps others.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah,
It makes you think about what you could do.
for sure.
And then there was Haruto in Tokyo.
Yeah, his story was so sweet.
I know, it's like a little reminder to slow down and pay attention to the people around us.
Especially the elderly, who can sometimes feel invisible.
Right.
Haruto showed that even small gestures can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And then there was that grocery cart of compassion in Canada.
Oh, that was so cool.
I know, it's like they just put their faith in humanity.
And it paid off.
It did. People really stepped up.
It shows that there's so much good in the world.
Yeah, we just have to look for it.
Exactly. And then there was João, the street artist in Sao Paulo,
Oh yeah, he was incredible.
using his art to give a voice to the voiceless.
It was so powerful.
It really was. And it reminded me that art can be a force for change.
For sure. And speaking of powerful, Tom, the Australian farmer who rescued his neighbors during the flood.
Oh my gosh, he was a hero.
He was. He didn't even think twice about it
He just jumped into action.
and saved so many lives.
It's incredible what people can do when they're faced with a crisis.
And then there were those high school students in Paris who created Le Langage de l'Amour.
Oh yeah, that was a great one.
They were so dedicated to helping those immigrant children.
It really showed the power of language to connect people.
And then there was the Blanket Brigade in Chicago.
Oh yeah, those guys are awesome.
They braved the cold every winter to help those experiencing homelessness.
It's so inspiring to see people giving their time and energy to help others.
And it's not just about the blankets.
Right, it's about the human connection.
Exactly.
Mm.
And finally, there was that app developer in Singapore who created Silver Screen,
Oh yeah, that was such a cool idea.
using technology to combat loneliness among seniors.
It's amazing how creative people can be when they want to make a difference.
It really
All
is.
of these stories have been so inspiring.
I know, they really show the power of kindness,
And they remind us that we can all make a difference in the world.
even in small ways.
Exactly. So as we move into our final set of reflections, I want you to think about which story resonated with you the most.
Yeah, what stood out to you?
And what does it tell you about the power of human kindness? Hold on to those thoughts as we continue our deep dive.
As we wrap up, I keep thinking about how kindness isn't just about the person receiving it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it also has this incredible impact on the giver.
Yeah, it's like a two-way street.
Totally. Like, think about Haruto and Mrs. Takahashi in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, such a sweet story.
He was offering her companionship, but he was also getting so much out of it.
Right, like he was learning from her life experiences.
And just having that connection.
Exactly. It shows that we all need each other.
And that was so clear in that story about the Italian village that welcomed the Ukrainian refugees.
Yeah, they really opened their hearts and homes.
And in doing so, they revitalized their own community.
It's amazing how giving to others can actually benefit us in so many ways.
And sometimes those benefits are unexpected.
For sure. Like, who would have thought that setting up a grocery cart of compassion would create such a strong sense of community?
I know, right? That one little act sparked something really special,
It's like a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference.
even in small ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes those small acts can have a huge impact.
Like Tom, the Australian farmer, who rescued his neighbors with his tractor.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He was a true hero.
He was. It just shows that we all have the potential to step up in times of need.
And that kindness can come in the most unexpected forms.
Totally. And those high school students in Paris who created Le Langage de l'Amour.
And they were awesome.
I know. They saw a need and just took action.
It's so inspiring to see young people making a difference.
And the Blanket Brigade in Chicago, braving the cold every winter.
They're amazing.
They show that sometimes kindness is just about showing up and being present for someone.
And offering a little warmth and comfort.
Exactly. And then there's that amazing app developer in Singapore who created Silver Screen.
Oh, yeah, to combat loneliness among seniors.
It's like he found a way to use technology to connect people in a really meaningful way.
It's so creative. It just shows that there are so many ways to be kind.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are your final thoughts?
I'm just so inspired by all of these stories.
Me too.
It's like a reminder that the world is full of good people doing amazing things.
And that we all have the power to join them.
Exactly. So what act of kindness will you do today?
Let's all make a commitment to spread a little more kindness in the world.
I'm in.
Me too. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of humanity.
It was a pleasure being here.
Until next time, keep choosing kindness, keep spreading hope, and keep believing in the power of human connection.